Good morning, family. How are you? Um, I'm just so excited. It's refreshing Tuesday, and of course, y'all know I'm coming back with a word of motivation for you this morning. Um, and so I wanted to come on. I've got my word, I've got my notes right here. So if y'all happen to see me looking down, family, it is not that I'm ignoring you. I'm actually reading what it is that God gave to me. So good morning, good morning, good morning. I wanted to come on and just share with you what guys he give it to me first. He be whipping me first, y'all. When I say you he be whipping me first, he be going in on me. Um he go in on me. And a lot of times I have to try and just be like, okay, let me process and digest what you just gave to me because I'm still trying to regather myself. Um, but with that being said, again, good morning. I hope you are already experiencing a beautiful day in the Lord. Okay. I hope you are rejoicing and being glad in this beautiful day that He has given us. So we're gonna get started. So God laid on my heart. We're gonna talk about wisdom today, y'all. We're gonna talk about wisdom. Wisdom. Sometimes we have to have a teaching moment within our motivation because when we get the knowledge and the understanding, then we'll be able to apply it, right? We don't want to just get full off of things that we educate ourselves with, but we also want to be able to apply that thing. Okay. So today we're gonna combine our motivation with a little bit of teaching, okay? And we're gonna see how God leads us in this thing. The scripture that I'm going to come from that God gave to me, and you can read it in your time, okay? I'm gonna go into the key verse that I want to read from this, but in your own time, I want you to go back to First Kings, excuse me, y'all. First Kings chapter 3, and it's actually verse 11 through 14. Okay, this is the passage of scripture where Solomon has the dream. God comes to Solomon in the dream at night, and he asks him, "What is it that you would want to have from me?" And I'm just paraphrasing. Okay, so make sure you read it. It's First Kings chapter 3, verses 11 through 14. And those of you who know it or have read it before, Solomon basically goes and he analyzes that thing and he like, let me get some wisdom, okay? So the verse that I'm gonna zone in on for us is verse 12, where excuse me, I'm sorry, verse 11. Going into 12, where God says, and God said unto him, because thou hast asked this thing, talking about the wisdom that he asked for, and has not asked for thyself a long life. You didn't ask for riches for yourself. You didn't ask for me to just smite out your enemies. Okay. Um, just know that you ask for understanding so that you could judge your situations correctly. So God says in 12, he says, because of that, I've done according to what you asked for. Okay. And then he comes back and he says, I will give you understanding of your heart. He says, there is not going to be nobody else that's like you before or after. Okay. So you are authentic. You are genuine. There is nobody else that's like you. And then he goes on, in 13 and 14, I'm going to paraphrase it a little bit. He's like, because you didn't ask for all this other stuff, guess what? I'm going to give you what you asked for. And then on top of that, I'm going to give you the stuff that you did not ask me for. I'm going to give you that just because. Okay. All right. So we're going to get into this thing because I had to write my notes down the way that the Lord gave it to me. And I'm getting ready to go walking, y'all. So I'm on here like this because I got to go and get my exercise in right after our video. All right. So we talking about wisdom, okay? So again, that's First Kings 3, 11 through 14. Um wisdom, and I wrote down for wisdom what every letter of that means, okay? Like an acronym. Wisdom, your W is your willingness to go to God first before anything else. You want to make sure that you are going to God, and you need to pray about what you need to be asking God for. Okay? Because a lot of times we ask for things that we don't need to ask for. If we ask for the right thing, up front, okay? Instead of going and saying, where is my husband? Where is my wife? Where is my money, Lord? Where is this? Lord, I need more time. Lord, I need. Ask for the right thing. When you ask for wisdom, God will begin to show you how to. He says, just like with wealth, I will give you the ability. He said, I'm gonna give you wealth. He says, I will give you the ability to get wealth. Right. And so Solomon understood that thing. He's like, let me analyze this thing and make sure I ask for the right thing. Because that one ask that he asked for, being wisdom, that encompassed everything that he needed, was in that one ask. Everything he needed was in that one ask. He had to keep going. I need this and I need this right here and I need this right here. You ever been somewhere where you like, okay, I'm going to go and I'm going to get the one thing, and that one thing going to take care of everything. Okay, instead of having to run here, run there, run here, run, and I need this. He asked for wisdom, and that in him asking for wisdom, he got everything that he needed. And even though he didn't express it, the things that he wanted were in that one ask. So wisdom, your W, you got to be willing to go to God first. Why do we want to go to everybody else except for God first? Why do we go everywhere else but where we should be start? He is the beginning and the end, Alpha and Omega. Okay, like we should be starting beginning everything with him. Okay, so your W is your willingness. You got to be willing to go. Put your pride to listen. The pride thing got to go. You got to put that to the side. Okay, so you got to have a willingness to go to God. Your I should be to increase your knowledge and your understanding. How are you on a consistent daily basis increasing your knowledge, your understanding, your consciousness, your self-awareness, your self-actualization? What are you doing? What are you reading? What are you studying? What are you allowing to occupy your time and your space? Like how are you increasing, and not just financially? See, a lot of times we get caught up in the finances, okay, and they are important. Don't Dr. Lynn Richardson, y'all go there, I done told y'all. But how are you increasing in your self-awareness, your education? Okay, that's all a part of wisdom. You want to make sure that you are increasing in knowledge and understanding. You cannot increase if you don't know. Okay, my people are destroyed for the lack of knowledge. What you don't know can hurt you. Yes, it can. It can hurt you. So you need to be increasing daily. I don't care if it's, picking up a book and reading a page or two, or whatever the case may be. Get up under somebody who knows, who has had an experience, somebody who's been there, somebody who has wisdom. Not, and listen, age does not necessarily mean wisdom. Okay, let me tread the waters softly right here, but I'm gonna just say it. Age does not necessarily mean wisdom. Okay, because you got a lot of grown, seasoned people who are older in age factor, but the wisdom is not there, and you can see it in their daily actions. You can tell just from the way a person carries themselves, the way they speak, their mind, all of that stuff. Okay, so increase your knowledge and your understanding. That's your I. So we're gonna be willing to go to God first, and then we're gonna increase our knowledge and understanding. Your S is your service. Your S is your service, first to God and then to others. How are you serving other people? Is it every day that you wake up, it's all about you? What can you do to increase you? What can you do for you? How can I get more for me? Or have you allowed God to give you a mindset on how can I help people? I don't care. Listen, let me tell y'all something. I don't care if it's 1,000 people on here, and I don't care if it's one person on here. If God has given you the ability, the purpose, the plan to serve other people, you don't know what your testimony, what your being obedient to God may do to help that one person. They may have needed exactly what it is that you said that day that God told you to speak. Only speak what God tells you to speak now. Don't be getting up here with your own little stuff. Okay, don't get up here with what God gave you to give to people. Okay, don't get up here with your own little agenda, motives, all that. That first of all, that you'll know, because Trust me, okay? Don't get yourself in trouble with the Lord. Go on and speak what he tells you to speak to the people, okay? And when you get done with what he said to say, get off and be done with it, okay? But how are you serving other people? What not, and you don't have to share it with everybody. God knows. He sees everything. He knows everything. He knows your heart. He see what you do. He know your mind. He know your motive. He know everything about you. But what are you doing? You know, I don't care if you on the road. Have you stopped to help give somebody a meal? Did you, while you were, at the gas station, you know what? I got a little bit extra. I can give you $10 extra. I see you getting $20 worth. Why don't you get 30? Here's an extra 10, or whatever the case may be. How are you serving other people? What are you doing to let your light shine? Okay. What are you doing to help other people besides yourself? Okay, because when you help other people, God is already gonna take care of you. Because remember, we talked about if you kingdom mindset, if you have a kingdom domain, the kingdom takes care of kingdom. Kingdom takes care of kingdom. So you ain't got to worry about that at all. But what are you doing to bless somebody else besides yourself? What about your time? It doesn't have to be money. What about your time? Your talent? What is it that you do well that you can bless somebody with, and not always be looking for this? Because God is going to take care of the money. It's going to come. He just did it in the Bible with Solomon. He asked for wisdom. He gave. Y'all know how much Solomon was the richest king. Come on, y'all. He ain't asked for that. But look what he got. Okay. So how are we serving others? Excuse me. Your D, development and growth in your domain. Okay. It's your development and how you are growing within your domain. And one thing that I know is that you will only grow and you will only develop to the extent that you decide that you are going to walk with God daily, every day, all day, every day. One thing I know about the garden is when you go back to the garden experience, the Garden of Eden, Garden of Eden. When you go back to Genesis and that garden experience, one thing I do know is that at some point somebody stopped walking with God, because if that were not the case, God wouldn't have to come looking for them. If I'm walking with you, you ain't got to look for me, because I'm right there, right? I mean, come on. If I'm walking with you and we walking together, right? How can two walk together unless they agree, right? So if I'm walking with you, if I'm talking with you, if I'm understanding with you, if I'm going to destiny with you, if I have purpose with you, if I have plan with you, if I have fellowship with you, if I have relationship with you, we walking together. So at some point in that garden, it tells me somebody stopped walking with somebody. And it looks to me as though Adam stopped walking with God, because it says God came and he was looking for him, right? So if I'm walking with you, you ain't got to look for me, because I'm there, right? So your development and your growth in your domain, you got to have a growth mindset. You got to want to develop. And the way that you develop is you stay in a consistent walk with God. Y'all, I'm telling you, y'all just don't know. This one right here, this one right, boy, those of you who know me, y'all know. Back in the day, listen, y'all sit down and have a conversation with my parents. I promise y'all. I promise y'all, boy, they used to have, listen, my daddy got this little saying. He used to say, like, who, Tornado Torsha? If you're not walking with God, you leading yourself to self-destruction. I'm telling you right now, coming from me, if you are not walking with God, you are walking yourself. Don't blame it on nobody else. You can't try to blame it on nobody else for what's going on in your life. When you decide that you are not going to walk with God on a consistent basis, you are making a decision to self-destruct. Okay, look what happened in the garden. The moment you stop walking with him, total chaos. Total chaos. Okay, the order got out. If he would have continued to walk with God and she would have continued to just stay walking with her man, okay, that thing got to be congruent. You got to be right there together. Okay, that thing got to be strong. Okay, 3/4 cord is not easily broken. Okay, but somebody stop walking with somebody. And when you stop doing that, you got self-destruction is inevitable. It's gonna happen. Take it from me. I'm telling y'all. I'm telling you. Ooh, when this story come, when God released this story, I'm telling you. Okay, self-destruction. All right. The O. We talking about wisdom. So we know your W is your willingness to go to God. Your I is increasing your knowledge and your understanding. Your S is your service to God first and then serving others. And then your D is developing and making sure that you grow. Okay. Your we get to O, occupying your time with a purpose. You got to occupy your time with purpose and with the plan and with the will that God has for your life. Okay, what are you doing with your time? And I know you probably heard this. This ain't the first time and ain't gonna be the last time you done heard it. What are you doing with your time? How much sleep do you really need? How much TV do you really have to have, y'all? Okay, and it don't mean that I don't watch TV. Listen, I watch TV. I'm careful about what I watch and what I allow into my gates because subconsciously that stuff is getting into your mind. So you have to be careful. You have to protect your mindset and what's coming into your ear gates, your eye gates, all of these different gates that you have. You have to protect that. Okay, but yeah, I watch TV, but there is a balance. There is a healthy balance that God has laid out for your life as to how are you occupying your time. See, if I spend the majority of what I spend my time on is what I will become. So if I spend my time eating all day, that's what I'm gonna become. If I spend my time hanging out with people who don't have a plan, a purpose, a dream, a vision, anything of that nature or that sort, guess what? I'm gonna become the sum total of what I consume on a daily basis. If I consistently sit there and pray and talk to God, and that's not, y'all, that ain't religious. That's having a relationship and building a relationship with God directly Himself so that He can pour into your life and pour into your being and pour into you from a kingdom. We're part of a kingdom, okay? And so if I'm not spending time, whatever I choose to occupy my time with, that's what I will become. So if I choose to occupy my time with 40 minutes to an hour per day of some type of activity, physical activity to better myself, that's what I will become. If I choose to change my mindset and my health of how I think about myself and know that, you know what, this is a loner to me because I am a spirit that's inside of a body. I'm not a body. I'm a spirit that lives inside of a body. Okay. Um, I want to take care of the shell because my spirit has to live in there. And so whatever you occupy your time with, if you occupy your time with worrying all day about stuff, that's who you're going to become, a worry board. If you occupy your time with negativity, even though there's some things that are out of your control, you can't control everything. You won't be able to control everything. You are designed to lean and depend on, and that's a problem. Everybody wants independence, but in the kingdom of God, you learn that you want to. You have a need for it. You have a zeal to lean and depend on God solely because He is the Lord of Lords, King of Kings. In His kingdom, He takes care of everything. Outside of His kingdom, you over here struggling trying to figure out how you gonna do it yourself. But you ain't even create yourself. So how you gonna take care of you? You can't take care of you. God has to take care of you. Okay. Monitor how you occupy your time. And then the last letter, y'all, is M. Um, and he told me to have meaningful management, which goes with the O, Meaningful management of your life, your time, your will, your purpose, and your will should be God's will, because whatever God's will is for your life, that's your will. Okay? Anything outside of that is contrary to what he has planned out for your life. Okay? And then you managing your time well, and you need to make sure that we need to make sure that we are upgrading our mindsets and our thinking. And then the M also stands for maturity. Now listen, let me tell you about this maturity thing, because a lot of times we tend to think that maturity is oh, I'm grown. Oh, I'm good grown. I'm real grown. I'm big grown. Okay, yes, you are an adult. There's a difference between being an adult because of age and maturity. Okay, you don't mature according to your age. You mature according to what comes between your ears and what comes into your mind. That's where you mature. You mature here and you mature here. Your body and age, okay, yes, it will grow and it will develop, but it does not mature you. And if that were the case, you wouldn't have women, silly women. The Bible talks about that. You wouldn't have silly women who do silly things, that think that because you got your lashes, because you got your little hair trickling down, because you walk a certain way, or you got yourself looking a certain way, that oh, I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do that, oh, and they gonna I'm gonna get this or I'm gonna get that, and or you wouldn't have men that think that because they can get 5, 6, 7 different women, or trying to show off to the homeboys. I don't know, y'all, I'm just talking, showing off to the homeboys, you got this, you got that, you got this type of money, you got this type of ride, you got 7 cars. That's not maturity. Okay. um you mature between your ears, and I ain't going there, y'all know the other part. You mature between your ears and in your mind. That's where maturity takes place. And the only way that that is going to grow and develop is you got to stay in the word of God, and you got to stay connected to God. Okay. So your willingness, your increasing of your knowledge and your understanding, your service, development and growth, occupying your time well with your purpose that God gave you, and then having a meaningful mindset, managing your time, and maturity. Okay. I want you to notice that at the end of the word wisdom, you have DOM. When you look it up, DOM comes from the Latin. It talks about having dominion or authority over. So a lot of the words that we see on a daily basis in DOM, I want you to start taking notice of those words. Wisdom, okay? You are reigning. You have reigning authority, ruling power over being able to become wise in the knowledge of God and the things of God. So you got things like kingdom, okay? Queendom. You've got freedom. Are you free? Do you have dominion, authority, power, reign, and ruling power over your liberty of your mind, your peace, your joy? Okay, freedom. You got startup. All of these. I want you to start taking notice of the things that God has placed before us in regard to who we are. We got to know who we are and the value that we hold. Okay. One last thing I want to say before I go. We can talk a good game, but people can see. I'm telling y'all, I used to teach sometimes in the high school, and it's nothing better than to show you who you are and what you're made of than to go into a high school classroom, because high school students, they can see through fake, they can see through something that's not real, especially when I would go to the alternative school and do teaching there. And y'all, when I tell y'all, them alternative school, them my babies, right? Listen, them my babies, because there's a connection. Okay, I'm gonna just say that there's a connection, but just because you talk a good game, that means nothing. action is everything. Y'all know we always hear the phrase, everybody always say, oh, your actions speak louder than words. And they do. They do. They really do. Your actions speak loud. You can tell me something all day, every day, but if you doing something completely different, then I'm gonna take. Okay, so actions speak louder than words. Ralph Emerson. This is his quote, y'all. He said, "What you do speaks so loudly that I can't hear what you're saying. What you do speaks so loudly that I can't hear what you're saying. You telling me one thing, but you doing another." Okay, so listen, do what you say you're gonna do. um be committed, be a woman, be a man of your word. Commit yourself to going to God. Get some wisdom, y'all, knowledge and understanding. All right, and implement that, apply it, let it be a lead and a guide for y'all. I got to get off of here. Listen, Sweet Affections, we do everything, all kinds of flavor, pound cakes, layered cakes, pies, cobblers, yeah, everything. Okay, Sweet Affections, 478-775-3843. I won't have time this morning to put it in the description box because I got to move my day forward. I got to get going. Sweet Affections, call us, text your order. You can text your order. And we do Cash App. Maybe I will go ahead and put that in the description box. But anyways, Sweet Affections has what you need. EJ's Grill. Y'all look him up. He's in Macon, Georgia. He and Articia Trip, they have a business. And it's called EJ's Grill. They do everything from ribs to, y'all name it, turkey legs. It's on there, okay? Jackson's tax service, and what they do, Jackson's Notary service, they are located here in the Atlanta, Georgia area. You can Google them. They have what you need as well, any type of notarization if you need that. Just look them up, Google them. Jackson's tax service. Up Productions down in West Palm Beach, Florida. Y'all listen, t-shirts, hoodies, you talk about professional. I got two people for that actually. But yes, West Palm Beach, Florida. If you go to, I think it's, y'all, I think it's UCME productions.com, I think is what it is. Check it out, go there. And another one, 111 Tees. Now y'all listen, here in Atlanta, Georgia, 111 Tees. Look them up. You can, I think you can Google them. They're on Instagram. They also have a array of t-shirts, hoodies, things. If you're here in the Atlanta, Georgia area, very reasonable. Look them up for any of your apparel needs. They got you there as well. And I like to come on and I like to promote our businesses. I like to promote our businesses and put it out as to what we're doing so that I can help other people as they're growing their businesses as well. JIT Game Changer Life. If you ever need any health, fitness, routine, health plans, anything like that, Instagram, go to JIT, GIT, Game Changer Life. It's on there. You can find it. And then also too, I just want to put out there that the holiday season is coming up. There is a new avenue that's coming by way through Power Positive. You'll see a lot of the links down in the description. They won't be there today, but I'll start putting them in there starting next week. You'll see a lot of the links down there for things in terms of the businesses and how they're growing, how they're developing. So I definitely want you to check that out. But I really just wanted to come on here and say, please get you some, get back to the real meaning of wisdom. And share this, like it, subscribe, leave a comment, share it with others. I love y'all so much. I hope you have a beautiful Tuesday. I'm about to go get this walk on, get a little sweat this morning, maybe again this afternoon. But I love y'all. I want you to have a great day. All right. Love you. Bye.